just gonna play a few really old tracks, and I mean like 10 years old, that I did, just while we see if anybody shows up. Just some weird instrumentals, basically. How you doing today, man? How's your day? Nice, thank you. Listening to the beats. Yeah, these old ones are weird. It was when I first started learning how to use beat making software, and they're all pretty like rudimentary. They're all pretty simple, but when I first started making music, the only thing I really wanted to do was do stuff that was used in like film soundtracks and stuff like that. So I wanted it to be really simple music that accented something else. So that's what these little ditties are that I'm just starting out with, and then I'll play some new stuff that I've worked on the last couple of years after this. "13. Whew. 10 years ago, I was 26. This is a newer one. I'd say 4 years ago, something like that. So I was getting a little bit better at it, using some different software. My volumes were better. Still not great, but a step in the process. So I'm gonna get started. I made a little intro for this, so we'll see how you like that.
This is Queer and Weird, episode 1.
What's the next song?
The one about me.
Burn the witch!
Finding a mess like this ought to make anyone frightened.
How long do you think we can keep her alive under these conditions?
So that was my little intro thingy. Maybe it needs some work, but it's a little first effort. This one doesn't have a name. It's just a groove that I've been working on. It's super short. Hey Carly, how's it going? Carly, I hope you feel better. I'm sorry about your back. Nice. So I'm going to get right into like kind of some tracks that I've been working on. Now, a lot of them don't have vocals. I've only done one track by myself that has vocals, so it's going to be a lot of instrumental stuff. But I still want you to hear it. And part of the reason I'm putting it out into the world as well is because if there's any vocalists out there listening that want to put any vocals on any of the tracks that you hear here, just DM me, talk to me, and maybe you can write something for any of these. Honestly, I would love to work with anybody. So I'll just start by playing a couple of the guitar ones that I've been working on. This one I did in June. Let's see what you think of this. Yeah, so like you kind of get the idea that like some vocals would lend itself to it. But again, it's one of those things where I kind of always mean it to be the background to something. So I think it's fine without it. But at the same time, if anybody is inspired or wants to work together on it, hi Sandy. I'd be happy to work with anybody. So if you hear something that you want to work on, just drop me a line. So the next one's kind of in a similar vein. It's more like your sort of band sounding one. Not all of them are like that, but these couple are. So I'll just play them together and see what you think. This one reminds me of Sheryl Crow, actually. I don't know if anybody likes Sheryl Crow. I know you do, Carly. I guess it's like Sheryl Crow meets easy listening kind of thing. The next one that I'm going to play here, I put out on December 30th, or I either wrote it or put it out that day. It might have been both. I'm usually very fast when I work, but it was just super heavy, wintry, and this is kind of like a heavier tune. The guitars in it are a little heavier, and I was feeling a little darker, but I hope that you like it. I think I just called it December 30th, honestly. I like to turn this one up. It's beefy. Dig that one, Carly? I'm glad. I really like this one too. I'll turn it down a little bit, but this song actually reminds me a lot of the soundtrack to 28 Days Later, the zombie movie. And I really had a lot of fun with it because of that. This one was kind of written at a similar time, like I think in the same week, and kind of feeling the same weird down way, but a little softer, a little less aggressive anyway. Nice little phasey guitar. Thanks, Carly. After I'm finished streaming, I am going to post this, I think, on my YouTube channel as well, so that people can go back and watch it later. Since it's all original material, it won't get silenced or anything like that. So I thought, why not? So that was one that was actually called Winter. The next one's the most recent song that I put out, and I've been doing a lot more with synthesizers. So a lot with guitars still, but trying to figure out synthesizers as well. So this one's got like a heavy synthesizer bass line in it. I think it's pretty cool. It's called Post Panic. What are you cross-stitching right now? What are you doing? So the next one I'm going to play is actually the only one that has me singing on it right now. Well, that I'm willing to play. It had like a working title of Sad Sack, which is funny, but I was feeling particularly down on the city that my wife and I are living in, and I just wrote a song about it. So this is it. Again, it's a little bit cat scratchy on the vocals, but I did it on purpose. It kind of has like a Neutral Milk Hotel kind of vibe, I guess. Maybe not exactly, but... So I think what I'm going to do now is get into playing some of the remixes that I've been working on, which I'm actually like super excited about. Working with other artists is something I've never done. I've only ever worked with my own band or my own music. And I'm just like really, really excited to be working with other people. So I've been working with artists that are like hip hop or pop. And the first one I'm going to play is one that I did with this girl named G, this artist named G from Mexico. And she sent me like a vocal track, and I literally just built the whole rest of the song around it. And it was really enjoyable for me, and she really liked what I sent back. So we're actually working on more right now. I sent her some tracks the other day, so hopefully I'll be able to show you more of that soon. But this one's called United, and it's just like a Plays with Music remix of that. So 1 second here. I love her voice.
Oceans of shadows underneath what we call our high. Cast down my heart, it has been taken apart at last. United we shall stand. United we shall
So just to give you a little background here, Saba, about the French thing. In Canada, where I'm from, well, in most provinces, but especially where I'm from on the East Coast, we have a huge French community. Everything is spoken in both French and English. Products are listed in both French and English, so we have a really deep attachment to that language. And at the very least, even if you don't like the French language, you know it because you live with it. So that's basically what I'm just joking with about with Carly about is I came down here and I couldn't believe that all these French last names, people say them the way they do. It's really, really funny to me. And I don't mean to disrespect people because their families have said these names like this for generations probably, but I just hear the French and I see the French spelling and I'm like, no, but your name is French and it's beautiful. Anyway. Oh yeah, that's Jolene and Kenta in the corner. Those are my dogs, Saba. I don't know if you've seen them yet. Kenta's the big brown one and Jolene's the little girl next to him. So the next song is another remix I did. I did it probably a month ago, and it's for like a pop R&B singer in Halifax. Her name is Nicole Ariana, and anyway, she's fantastic. She's a really great singer, and she was very gracious and sent me a couple of vocal stems of some of her already established tracks. And I made just this little mini sort of remix that when I sent it back to her, we both agreed that it had a bit of a Tarantino, like a Tarantino film feel. So this is that now. It's called Sad Girls.
We live in a digital world product of society. Look at me, hair done right, and my titties where they need to be. Media slut, wonder where's her big butt. Yeah, we live in a mind warp worlds, and I'm an emotional girl. Yep. Now come around like you told ya, and put it down like they showed ya. Stay up on the hesitate. Wait, sad girl fate. Wait. Sad girl fate. Born to hesitate. Wait, sad girl fate. Born to hesitate. Born to hesitate. Born to hesitate. Sad girl fate. Go. Stay. Hesitate, wait, sad girl fate, wait, go, sad girl fate, born to hesitate, wait, sad girl fate, born to hesitate, born to hesitate, born to hesitate, sad girl fate, go, stay, wait.
So that was that one. Next is a remix that I just did for a rapper, hip-hop artist in Halifax, Nova Scotia as well. That's where Nicole Ariana was from. Back home for me, Saba. Basically, that's where I have lived for the last 15 years before coming here. The rapper's name is Ambeez, and he had this song called Gel Lytes, and I did a remix of that. Just one second here, we'll get it started. I love his voice too, like his vocals. He just has a super smooth voice.
Yeah, my rap's intricate, magnificent. They sound the same, but I'm different. Getting it from here to Michigan. Peace to all the heads listening. I'm not lazy, I do this daily. Rock the jersey like Tracy McGrady till I'm 80. Won't break me. Turn the beat on, watch him go crazy. Fold my hands, turn the sampler on. Doing work, kick the dialogue. Warm joints, cold heart. Back where I started. I still rock Keanu's in the gel lights. I still rock Keanu's in the gel lights. I still rock Keanu's in the gel lights. We still rock Keanu's in the gel lights. Yo, stay in the labbity. Working on a masterpiece. But I really do actually. Back in the facts where I have to be. Sorta chilly, so I wear layers. Doing work, watch a movie later. Listening to Roy Ayers. Trying to be some players. Me, I'm one of a kind. Unusual with the design. Going all for mine. For the 2 thou and the 99. Let's go. I still rock Keanu's in the gel lights. I still rock Keanu's in the gel lights. I still rock Keanu's in the gel lights. We still rock Keanu's in the gel lights.
Oh, I love the groove on that. His voice is just like butter. It's so good. So the next one I'm going to play is actually, it's funny. So my wife's brother, Patrick, started playing banjo. And he started playing ukulele first. And he started sending me all these ukulele riffs of stuff he was doing, which was really cute and cool. I liked hearing them. And then he started playing banjo, and he sent me this banjo riff of this really, really old school song called Old Greasy Coat. And I mean, it's a song from almost 100 years ago kind of thing. And he played it, and it sounded really cool to me. So I tried to soup it up and see what I could make from it. And this is kind of how it came out, just from a little voice memo that he sent me. So that's what this is. That's okay, Saba. You do your thing. Clean that house. It's called Old Greasy Coat, Carly. Yeah, totally. Isn't it good? Kev167, hello. I'm glad you like it. So that was that one. I really like that Greasy Coat one. I've always thought that was really fun. This is a song, this next one is one that I made. It's a really, really old one, like 10, 12 years ago. And I made it for, there's an artist in New Brunswick that goes by Penny Blacks. And when I made this song, it just reminded me of Penny Blacks and the kind of music that he and his band make. So this is called Penny Blacks. Kind of a slow jam. For anyone who's kind of just kicking around now or missed the first few minutes, when I did a lot of this music a long time ago, I kind of just had this idea in mind that I wanted to, like, I had a lot of friends who made short films and did a lot of art like that, and I thought it would be cool to kind of donate instrumental tracks to that kind of art, and I really didn't end up doing a lot of it. I made a couple of my own little short video things that I use the music for, but it's still something that's on my bucket list. I would like to supply instrumental music for people making short films or things like that. So if you know anybody, send them my way. I'm going to stay on the really quiet groove here for a second. This song is called Walk, and it's on a 5-song EP called 10 Minutes that I put out a couple years ago, I think, about 2 years ago now. It's on my Bandcamp. It's just playswithmusic.bandcamp.com, and it's just like a super quiet one, but I did play it live once with Jason Vautour, a guitarist friend of mine in Halifax at the Marquee. But here's the original anyway. Still pretty chill though. Oh, that's awesome, actually, Nick. If he's ever looking for music for any stuff like that, I would actually love to donate music. I would want nothing for it. I would just love to be a part of anything like that if he was looking for that. I actually have often contemplated getting a drone because I make a lot of this weird, spacey, quiet music, and I thought it would go really well with something like that. So that's really cool. continue the super slow vibe with one more track, and then I'll pick it up after that, I promise. But this next one's called Church. I guess you'll know why when you hear it. It's kind of, well, maybe you won't. I have some conflicted feelings about my own church upbringing, so maybe that's reflected in this a little bit. The next one I'm going to play because Nick's here, and this is a pretty cool thing that we started working on. It's just listed in my songs as Nick and Jill collab, but it was a pretty cool start of an idea. Maybe one day we'll do more of it. Drums sound good, man. That's how I started too, man. I feel like I'm still at learning level on a whole lot of different software, but still trying. It's definitely hard. It's definitely hard, and it's time consuming, and trying to get things to match up and line up perfectly. You'd think with the mathematical abilities of things like that it would be easy, and it's not. It's not. It takes a lot of time. So the next one I'm going to put on is just a super quick little groove that I actually called groove because that's all it is. But I really like the feel of it. I think it's fun. It's just bass, basically. Like I said, just like a short little groove there. The next one I'm going to play, I wasn't going to play, but I think we're all friends here, so I'll play it anyway. But the song's called On Guard by Tigre, and I did this cover a little while ago. I don't feel super awesome about the mixing of it. There's a lot of level issues with it, I think, but at the same time, it was super fun to cover it, and I love the song so much, so I'm going to play it just for fun. It's like a beefy version of it. This would be the only other track you'll hear my vocals. So that was my Tigre cover. I hope it's not the last. I would love to cover more of their songs. The next one I'm going to play is just like a punk rock guitar song that has no lyrics, no vocals, but it's crying for them. So if anybody has any ideas or wants to do something with it, let me know. The guitars are going to sound fuzzy on this, and that's because there are tons of guitar tracks and tons of guitar pedals on it, very layered. This may or may not be the best avenue to play it, but you'll get the idea. So yeah, that was another guitar one. I'm going to go back to an older one now that's, again, instrumental. Most of them are. This is just a quick groove too. Kind of a quicker one, but I dig it. I call it Diligent. So yeah, that was just a quick groove, Diligent, an old one, another one that's like 12 years old or something. When I first started trying to do electronic music and playing around with software, that one I think I did in FL Studio. It was one of my first tries. The next one's called Think Back, and it's all electronics software that I used to make it, so no real instruments, but it kind of sounds like a band. I just like the tone of that crunch. All right. I'm going to play one more of my own. And then I have a special treat for my buddy in Chicago, who's also hosting this stream, Saba. Your treat's coming up in a minute. But one last song I'm going to play, and I think I'm going to go out on a super depressing note. This track is called Ominous. It's another just super dark, sort of instrumental, creepy. I always imagined it pairing with something horror or something. But again, it's called Ominous. Probably the last track of mine I'm going to play. But I'll make sure to say goodbye. I won't drop off here right away after the song plays. But here it is. That organ is so creepy. I love it. Hear this in like the background of a video game even when I listen to it now again. All right, Saba, this one's for you, my bud. See if you recognize it right away. We got a loop. This is for Saba for being so gracious and hosting the stream. He didn't have to do that. That was helpful for me. I appreciate it. I don't know if anybody knows what we're on to yet, but this is how we'll sign off today. Thank you everybody for coming. I've had a lot of fun. Thank you for listening. I do a lot of music on my own by myself, and it's really nice to share it with people. Love you guys.